The following program is paid for by the Real Estate Radio Network.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio Fresno on 105.9 The FM KMJ. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Craig Barton.
Good morning, Central Valley. I'm your host, Craig Barton, and welcome to the Real Estate Radio Network, the most important hour of radio each week, here on 105.9 The FM KMJ. Real Estate Radio is a show dedicated to bringing some rational thought to the crazy world that we live in and helping you to rebuild the Central Valley's housing and credit markets. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted advice, and it's exactly what you are going to hear every Sunday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. right here on 105.9 The FM KMJ. I was going to say, not your ordinary real estate show, are we?
No. Nothing ordinary about us. I am extraordinary.
Extraordinary?
That's right.
Johnny was mentioning the same thing, as opposed to not so ordinary or...
Ordinary can be okay, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes...
Some days I need ordinary. Some days I can't handle extraordinary all day long. Yeah.
About all you can take, huh?
That's right.
Yeah, I hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning. As always, it is so great to have my special guest host here in the studio, Michelle Lynn Pettis.
Extraordinary Michelle.
Extraordinary Michelle.
Good morning.
You got that right. How you doing, kid?
I'm good.
You make it through last weekend's heat? My God.
No frazzled. Yeah, last weekend's heat, car accident, rental car.
What is...
everyone I know is having car trouble right now. I'm starting to be
Don't-
concerned.
Don't get me going on that.
Oh.
Yeah.
You have a new car, I noticed as well.
Little transmission problem this week.
Yeah. I'm thinking that Enterprise, maybe we should just have
stock.
open account
Yeah.
with them so we could all rent cars.
Corporate account.
Corporate
right?
account. There you go.
Valley-wide corporate account.
There you go. And we could take all of our clients out in an Enterprise rent a car. I think it's a great marketing ploy. If you paint Enterprise across the side of my car, I'm happy as long as somebody else maintains the darn thing.
Yeah, there you go. As long as somebody else takes the bullet
point.
for
I
it,
don't
right?
like having to do car maintenance.
There you go.
It's like being debilitated. There's nothing worse than having no car.
And when you're busy, it does take time.
Yeah.
It takes a little
It's been
focus.
a real frustration this week.
Yeah. Well, at least it's only going to be, 95 or something like that?
Cooler,
today?
thank God.
At least
Thank
it's not
you,
108.
thank you.
Well, the Real Estate Radio Network gives us the opportunity to reach so many people efficiently for one full hour each and every week. Like I mentioned, we are not your ordinary real estate radio show, that's for sure. Our goal with the Real Estate Radio Network is to get you, our listeners, the timely and accurate truth about your local real estate market so we can help bring you
Back home.
You do that so well. I love it. If our listeners could only see her face in the studio in the morning.
Hey, I have a face for radio. Don't you mess with it.
Yes, you do. Well, on today's show, McMansions are back.
Is Ronald McDonald joining us?
No, that's a Happy Meal. That's a number 12.
I see.
Yeah,
McMansions.
McMansions are back.
McMansions. Yeah, I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, and consumers are a little concerned nowadays. Incorrect and outdated information. Most common issue on credit reports. I just had a couple this
Are they
week.
a bunch of liars or what?
No. Oh, my
credit's
gosh.
really jacked, but it wasn't me.
Yeah,
I've heard that
I didn't do
before.
that. Yeah, exactly. Of course it wasn't you. Right, yeah. And will the housing rebound crush the job market?
Interesting.
Yeah, if it's big enough, it could. And U.S. home prices post a 12.1% gain in April nationally.
Ben.
Nowhere close.
Yo, Ben, where you be?
Yeah, don't expect them to start raising rates anytime soon, even though rates have started to creep up. And better times for home buyers still might take a few years, experts say. And there is a tiny bubble.
Tiny bubble.
It's a housing bubble. Tiny housing bubble.
No.
Maybe forming amid buying pressure. There is a lot of pressure on buyers. And CoreLogic reports that foreclosure inventory is down. We're going to talk about...
It's about time to catch up with our knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. And California home sales and prices spring higher in April, and the median home price in California posts a 5-year high.
2008, 2009. Yep, that sounds about right.
That's about right. Yeah, exactly. And a big question. Did you blow your once-in-a-generation chance to buy a home?
Once in a generation, really?
Yeah, come on.
Come on. It's only been 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's not quite a generation, kids.
Yeah.
And 10 ways to turn off a would-be home buyer. Any guesses right now?
get in a car accident with them. Oh, wait, no, that was my home buyer.
That was you this last week. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, they're great people and patient, too.
Yeah, thank goodness. Yeah, that has got to turn a home buyer off now that you mentioned it.
You know what, though? I have to say, I had a client, and I backed out of a cul-de-sac parking driveway.
Yeah.
And he had parked on one side of the driveway, and his fiancée had parked on the other side of the driveway. And as I backed out, I turned, and my fender hit his car and dented my fender.
Yeah.
But it was his bumper. And Armin, thank you. He's still a great friend and client from Fowler. And he laughed at me that day. He was not the current client that got in the car.
The car wreck with you.
Hey, they hit us. We did not hit
there
them.
You go.
And we were abiding by the law.
Thank you for saying that, because we want to clarify. We're
in our cars all day long, and so, things tend to happen.
Yeah, we're also going to take some great listener questions today. Make sure you stay with us. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions, or questions regarding the topics or the stuff we discuss, Michelle and I, this Sunday morning, give us a call. Great listener questions are always a great way to keep the public informed, because I tell you what, if you've got a question, I guarantee there's other folks out there that do have the same question as well. Call us anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. We'd love to hear from you. You can also go to our website, check out our resources online. You can search for your new home. You can browse Fresno homes. Go to valleywide.sells.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 keywords.
Friend Valleywide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valleywide.
To get connected to us anytime. And we'd love to have you call into the show. Well, today's hot property is brought to you by Perfect Inspections. Whether it's residential, multifamily, commercial, use Press 4 keywords, Perfect Home Inspections, or call Dale today for your perfect home inspection at 352-6941. Again, that's 352-6941. Well, today's hot property is a HUD home. This property is located at 1064 Pinewood Avenue, Sanger, California, 93657. Property was appraised just recently for $235,000 with an FHA appraisal. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,857 square foot, 2-story home built in 2006 on a large lot. Really, this is a large lot with a huge back patio. Appraised with an FHA appraisal for $235,000. If you're a buyer, you can save yourself the cost of an appraisal, or if you're an agent, you can save your buyer the cost of an appraisal report, which is roughly about $450 if you're utilizing FHA financing. This property is eligible for owner-occupants only during the first 30 days. So owner-occupants, investors are not eligible to apply or submit an offer for the first 30 days, or second home. So if you're trying to buy a property for someone else to live in, or let's say a vacation property, list price $235,000. Again,
4-bedroom, 3-bath.
4-bedroom, 3-bath. Yeah,
nice.
It's huge property on a huge lot. If you'd like more information about today's hot property, give us a call anytime. 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Or use Press 4 keywords.
KMJ Hot Property.
And we'll send you more information about this hot property right to your phone. Look for more hot properties each week right here on the Real Estate Radio Network. Well, top stories in the news, as always. Fresno County inventory tops our stories. 1,100. Now, this is interesting. First time we've been in excess of 1,100 listings in a little while here. 1,117 active listings in Fresno County. Roughly about 1.5 months of inventory. 67 or 5.9% of that 1,117 is short sales. That number continues. Last check, it was 7.1%. Continues to drop. 110 of the 1,117 active listings are real estate owned, or REOs, or foreclosed properties, which accounts for 9.8%, and 940 are traditional listings, which is 84.15% of our active inventory. Have to ask the question, are we seeing the death of the short sale? And I would have to say unequivocally, as the numbers continue to drop week after week, sure looks that way.
Yep. Going bye-bye.
Yeah, going bye-bye, slow but sure. Well, McMansions are making a comeback. Yeah, item 12.
Supersize me.
Yeah, would you?
Yes,
medium
please.
or large? Would you want to go extra large?
I'll go extra large. In this market, you should be going extra large.
Would you like sauce with that?
No.
No. And what to drink?
A PUD.
A PUD.
Oh, no.
There you go. Well, as the economy recovers, America's love affair with the oversized McMansion has been reignited. During the past 3 years, the average size of new homes has grown significantly, according to a Census Bureau report released this past Monday. In 2012, the median home price in the U.S. hit an all-time record of 2,306 square feet, up 8% from 2009. Yeah, during the recession, Americans downsized, and the average new home shrunk in size by 6% over 2 years to 2,135 square feet. At that time, many experts said that the days of the McMansion were over. I have to say, though, I don't see it as being over. I see it as being very cyclical. What happens as prices, really, hello.
As prices fell, honestly, at the time I was working builder, so I can say that we were about $100 a square foot to build custom construction.
Yeah.
That doesn't count your land.
Right.
It doesn't count the place you're putting that house. So if you think $100 a square foot, a 1,500 square foot house is $150,000 plus the land.
Cost of the dirt.
Well, prices had plummeted so far down that it didn't make sense. Even for a 1,500 square foot house, you couldn't build it and make the dollars make sense.
Sure.
For new buyers.
For the new buyer, okay.
Yeah. So if you think about it, it does make sense why it goes down. They shrink those houses down to make them economical for the buyer when times get tough, and when times start to get a little bit better, they make them bigger and add more square footage.
Yeah, would you call that an inverse proportionate relationship, where as prices increase, the average price per the average square footage that you'd see Americans striving for or purchasing is going to be a whole lot smaller. My gosh, in 2006, a 2,000 square foot home was selling for, if it was a single story property, and depending upon the location, it was easily selling for somewhere in the ballpark of about $400,000.
Right.
So
you can imagine.
Yeah, 2,000 square feet nowadays, and depending upon the location of the property,
300, 200,000.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Interesting. So McMansions are back, and I honestly I don't find that to be.
And I think if you
surprising.
if you look at Fresno and the way it's grown, it very much shows that.
Yeah.
Certain times of seasons of real estate show different things the builders are building based on what's needed out there.
Well, and the building that we see on the periphery of Fresno, when you look at 93722 or the west side of 99 out there.
They're doing larger homes.
Yeah, and you talk southeast Fresno, Sunnyside, Kings Canyon. You've got a number of builders out that direction. D.R. Horton, you've got Centex, you've got Granville.
They're building up and out. Up and out.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Well, incorrect and outdated information is the most common issue that folks find
and I find
on
that
credit
funny.
reports.
Like
in what way?
Okay. Well, no, I guess because I did lending with you years ago, so I do find it kind of funny that everybody who has a poor credit score seems to think that there's some error on their credit score and they are not responsible for it. In a lot of cases, I saw that. And so I just find it humorous, this article. I'm sorry.
You feel like there's a vein.
I feel like it's like, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Nobody's responsible for their own behavior.
Tell it to the judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Well, while 22% of Americans admitted that they had never checked their credit report, nearly a quarter also said that they had encountered issues with their credit report with incorrect or outdated negative marks, leading as the main type of problem. Well, it's interesting that I saw this article and I thought, how apropos. I had a client call me this past week and say, I went and I applied for an automobile loan and they denied me.
Wow.
Well, I had actually made her a loan. It was a refinance, oh my gosh, within the last year, let's say. And it was kind of perplexing that I didn't understand why. So I told her, hey, here's the deal. We can pull your credit. It's a 3-bureau mortgage credit report.
Right.
Let's see what's reporting on there. So I pulled it. I took a look first at the old credit report that we had pulled this last year.
Sure.
To get somewhat of a perspective as to, okay, what could it potentially be? Or was it maybe something new? And sure enough, there was something on there that was included in a bankruptcy years ago that had been transferred to a different lender. But you could see that it was the same account when you looked on the BK case filing because the account number almost matched identically.
Right.
And it's not uncommon that you find that one has...
When you start talking collections, there's a lot of errors on those.
Thank you.
But again, something caused the collections was where I was coming from.
No, I totally get you there. Yeah. And the client would
because
agree.
they transfer them from one collection company to the other.
Exactly.
Whoever's going to give them their money, they're happy to work with.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what the case was, is that it had been transferred to a different to a different collector, or originally from the original creditor. Just so happened it was a mortgage, and was included in the bankruptcy. Okay, so that account showed up, different creditor, and there is a way to address that, because the specific name of the creditor was not included in the bankruptcy, but the account number matched, and the balance was approximately the same.
Right.
So what we do is we have to make a change at the bureau level with TransUnion, Equifax, whoever it's reporting to.
So is it a letter? Is it documentation? Tell me what they want.
What it is we basically provide a copy of the BK case filing and the page that shows this particular account is this particular creditor, excuse me. And they will do what's called a rapid rescore, which is a permanent change to the credit report to omit that from what's reporting.
Right.
In this particular instance, it's only one creditor to one bureau.
Wow.
And roughly the cost is about $35 to actually have that removed physically. Now, consumers have many different options. You can actually go to the bureaus and dispute something.
Sure.
Something that's in dispute typically takes 30 days. The creditor has 30 days to respond. If they don't respond, then it's removed. If they do respond, and let's say they challenge it, say, no, we've determined this is them, then it stays.
Gotcha.
But let's say it's in excess of 30 days and it takes them 60 days to come back, they can still come back and say, you don't know, that's still you.
Right.
They may have initially removed it after 30 days, but it still could come back.
Gotcha.
So if you have any supporting documentation that says, hey, this was not me.
Right.
It's kind of like the movie Identity Theft. My wife rented it this weekend.
I love it. I love that movie. It was funny.
Sandy Patterson.
Yes. It was a funny movie.
Oh, my gosh. What a kick.
All right.
Yeah, what a kick. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle and myself share with you this morning, please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. You can also go to our resources online. Check out our website and just ask Craig. Go to valleywide.sells.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press4 keywords.
Friend Valley White on Facebook.
Or use Press4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valley White.
To call into the show anytime. We'd love to hear from you. During the week, after the show, doesn't matter. Well, coming up, will the U.S. housing rebound crush the job market? And U.S. home prices post a 12.1% gain in April. And better times for home buyers might take a few more years, experts say. Well, make sure you stay with us. You are listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate here on 105.9, the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Mortgage interest rates are at historic lows, and there's never been a more affordable time to buy real estate. Whether you're looking for your first home, moving up, or your next income-producing property, let the mortgage professionals at Valley White help. Valley White Homes has been helping homeowners with their mortgage needs since 1997. When it comes to the Valley's real estate, we know our way around the neighborhood. Call toll-free, 800-979-3958, and put the seasoned professionals at Valley White Homes to work for you. Valley White Homes, NMLS number 342062, 235-952, California Department of Real Estate License 0122-8460. Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use Press4 keywords, Arise Solar.
Did you know that all the tickets you can buy on different websites come from the same place? Did you know that you can buy every ticket you need to any event in the country, the whole country, from Pete's Seats right here in Fresno? If that's the case, you need to call Pete's Seats. Any ticket, anytime. Sports, concerts, theater. Hey, there's seats, and then there's Pete's Seats. Premium tickets for all events, local, national, worldwide. Don't settle for a regular seat when you can get a really good Pete's Seat. Online at peteseats.net or simply 294-SEAT. That's 294-7328.
How much should I be saving? When can I retire? What can I do to ensure that my estate will be left in the hands of my family once I'm gone? Is my hard-earned money safe in today's markets?
With all the uncertainty in today's world, all of us at the Island Group know it is our job to provide answers to these questions. Walk with us, the Island Group at UBS Financial Services. Call me, Kate Island, at 559-248-4097. That's 559-248-4097. And take the first step in protecting your financial future.
All rights reserved. UBS Financial Services, Inc. is a subsidiary of UBS AG. Member SIPC.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, Michelle, will the U.S. housing rebound actually crush the job market? Well, there was a report in CNN Money. It says for the past few years, economists have been waiting for the housing market to rebound so that the job market can finally crash. No, that's the opposite, right?
I would think.
So the job market can actually. Well, this was a super, and I would say somewhat controversial report because traditional wisdom is what, because the markets are so
as the economy improves, the job market will improve because businesses have the opportunity to create more jobs. That's what everybody would think.
Sounds like this particular story. Well, the premise of this story is most people believe the reason high home ownership let me back up here. Most people believe the reason high home ownership in a housing bust creates stubbornly high unemployment is because the out of work can't afford to sell their houses. Because let's back up. 14 million folks nationally are still considered technically underwater.
Okay.
If for whatever reason they're still in their property, or they're just squeaking by, or they've done some sort of a loan modification, what I'm taking away from this story is have enough people gone from underemployed or unemployed to gainfully employed and created that stability enough so that they're given the opportunity to help in terms of our economy is concerned. They say that this report insists that it's not the homeowners who are the unemployed, or at least the overwhelming majority of them. So the trapped in a house storyline doesn't work for them. Instead, they say homeownership creates a sort of economic rigidity that hurts the job market for everyone, but they don't say how. I don't see how.
Well, I would think rigidity would come from somebody not being able to transfer, not being able to relocate for a better opportunity because they have baggage of an upside-down house.
Or have we seen enough of the unemployed or underemployed? And is that number that we see put back to work and given the opportunity to actually buy?
That's a question.
And how long is it going to take for them to buy?
Yeah, it may be a while, actually, because no matter what, if they took a hit, you've got a couple years of tax returns that have to be filed before they can finance properties.
Well, and how long, based upon their credit or their composite credit scores? How does that look?
Because once you're in that situation where you're falling in that hole, everything's coming down on top of you. It takes a while to dig out. Shall we say?
A pretty huge wake behind the boat, right?
Yeah, I mean, you miss one car payment, now you've missed two car payments. You may be floating with, not missing another, but you still got to make up the two car payments.
Or unfortunately, they take the car back and there's some sort of deficiency, and next thing you know, you have a $6,000 collection on your credit report.
I think there is a long ripple effect we're going to watch from all of this.
Yeah. Well, U.S. home prices post a 12.1% gain.
I called Ben again. I said, Ben, really? Are we going to continue to watch this go at 12% a month?
Yeah. What would you like to see that?
He didn't return my call. Dang it. Darn it. Dagnabbit.
Well, led by big gains in western states, national home prices were 12.1% higher in April than the year prior, according to a leading home price index, underscoring how low supply and strong demand have become powerful boosts for the nation's housing market. The year-over-year increase in CoreLogic home prices index was the biggest increase in 7 years and the 14th consecutive monthly increases in home prices nationally. Prices were up 3.2% from the prior month. That's huge.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. When you think of, we'd really like to see somewhere between 3 and 5%
a year.
Right. Not a month.
So this is where I'm going, okay, who's watching? You've been manipulating long enough, don't you think? It's time to get out and let things go.
At what point do the feds get out of?
I think they've got themselves in a little bit of a bind now.
Yeah.
Because you've been in there messing with it for so long. What's normal?
Yeah.
What is the new normal?
And if they were to pull out of the market, is it all
devastating?
Of a sudden, one day, all of a sudden, no one's there to buy bonds.
Yeah.
And what does that do to the market?
Exactly.
Because from what I understand, this little concern about I wish Kate were here to speak to it, because a little bit of a concern as far as our collective credit rating. that, are those bonds, and we've been buying so many of them, is the paper really worth anything? Yeah.
It's like the houses when they're, pricing them at $400,000 and it's a, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot home. Is it really worth what you're paying?
Yeah.
Same thing, guys.
Yeah.
Ay.
It is what it is.
Ben, call me.
Yeah.
We got to talk.
Well, Los Angeles Times also reports better times for home buyers will take a few years.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's going to take time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Would-be home buyers who are frustrated by rising home prices and low inventory may have to wait a few years for relief, real estate experts told a conference this past week. Institutional investors who have been driving the market with their all-cash purchases. Now, granted, we need those investors.
We need the investors, but I'm going to be honest in saying that as I'm out there showing properties and I'm out there making competitive market analysis and bids,
Competitive. Yeah.
the investors are tweaking our market. And honestly, they're the ones who, to me, it's silly. They're the ones who are supposed to be smarter than the rest of us, right?
Yeah.
And here they are pushing it up to an extreme level. It's going to cost you more, Mr. Investor, next month because you pushed it up last month.
Well,
you're going to sell, but you're also still buying out there.
You bring up a really good point, is investors are so eager to purchase in today's market still that they're actually speculating on the market being the muscle and pushing those prices up. Hey, I'm going to buy at $200 because I know this particular property. I've seen it. I don't have to put a whole lot of money in it. It's a little gingerbread carpet, paint. It's not going to cost me a whole lot to get my money out. But I'm banking on the fact that today the property's worth $200 because I bought it for $200, and that in 60 days it's going to be worth $235.
Yeah, it's a little bit of extreme pushing going on out there.
Yeah, and it's a big concern because again, we want to see 3 to 5% annually. 19.8% in California is extremely scary. 12.1% nationally, given the markets that are still soft. Columbus, Ohio, Atlanta, Georgia. There's a ton of down in Dallas-Fort Worth, markets that are still soft. Detroit, devastated, absolutely devastated. Many markets in Michigan. Yeah, it's not a good thing. And that's a reason why there's a tiny bubble.
Tiny bubble.
It's a tiny housing bubble.
Don Ho, love him.
Maybe forming amid buying pressure. Yeah, prospective home buyers Pamela Lynn and her husband Michael Lynn tour one of the models in the Marciel at Torrey Highlands development. I think there's a golf course near there.
San Diego.
Yeah,
I'll come visit.
It's a great time to buy. But with all the increases that we've seen as far as housing prices are concerned, isn't anybody scared that little bubble is forming once again?
I don't think the regular public we're dealing with sees what we see, and so I think we have to calm them, instill some patience in them, because they all are very impatient because they're feeling the crush that every property they bid on is taken up, swooped up by an investor or whatever. And I honestly think that they may anticipate that at the beginning of the cycle versus the top of the bubble bursting again.
Well, so let me ask you a question. So let's just say fundamentally, the number of buyers that you're dealing with or that you're talking with, how many of them are first-time buyers?
A good majority.
A good majority.
Of my buyers, a majority are.
So, of those that are first-time home buyers, how many of them have a clear and concise perspective as to what happened in 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, and then, we're headed to the crash site in 2007, 2008, 2009. Few are blessed with that perspective.
Right. I think they were younger, so I don't.
Sure.
A lot of them are on the younger end, so I don't think that they really see what we saw. And then the ones that I see selling out there, the ones that I see allowing those prices to be pushed, they lived it.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to get all they can out of it. And that's a concern. What are you doing to our young folk out there? Because I have a lot of young first-time home buyers. Yeah,
a small percentage of those folks that are getting into the market or back into the market today are those that may have lost a home in 2007 or 2008 and have gone through that portion of recovery, reestablishing credit, may have filed a bankruptcy, putting themselves back into a position, saving some cash, just flat out getting themselves back into a home when it's a great time to buy. But that's such a small percentage, with many more to come.
Well, you know what I see? I see both ends of the spectrum. And on both ends of the spectrum, you see this right of entitlement on both ends. These young people who want to buy a home are just infuriated when they don't get their offer accepted.
Right.
And then you see that other end of the spectrum where they're sellers and they want to get every dime they can because they paid X, Y, and Z, and gosh dang it, they want it all back because the market, they're mad at the market.
Sure.
So I don't know. I just find a lot of entitlement issues out there in our population.
So is it more of a generational sign, do you think? No? It's just across the board.
What it is, yeah.
Whether you're a baby boomer or a Gen X, or you want it all.
A millennial. We learned that last week.
Yeah,
Come on.
Okay.
That's
sorry.
right. Millennials. It's like perennials. No, I do think there's a definite entitlement issue out there. The work in the market at both ends.
Yeah. Hey, it's okay to want.
But you just don't get it all every day the way you want it and stomp your feet to get it.
A good high school buddy of mine always used to say, so how's it feel to want?
Yeah, I like to use that, too, with my kids. Maddie will say, I want X, Y, Z. Yeah, how's it feel to want?
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're going to get it.
That's right.
Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or something that's just burning a hole in your pocket and you'd like to ask us, well, just ask Craig. Give us a call, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. We'd love to hear from you. You can also go to our website, search for your new home. You can also watch videos on YouTube of past shows from the Real Estate Radio Network by going to Valley Wide Sells. ValleyWideSells.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 keywords.
Friend Valley Wide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valley Wide.
To call us anytime. During the show, after the show, we'd love to hear from you. Well, CoreLogic reports foreclosure inventory is down. I think the stats showed it already this morning. And California home prices spring higher in April. Median home price at a 5-year high. And did you blow your once-in-a-generation chance to buy a home?
Hey, I'm a millennial. No, I did not.
No, you did not, and you know better, right? And 10 ways to turn off a would-be homebuyer. Make sure you stay with us. You are listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate. You're on 105.9, the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
All it takes is one call to the professionals at Valley Wide Homes, and you'll start building wealth in real estate. Whether you're looking for your first home, moving up, or your next income-producing investment property, let the experts at Valley Wide Homes help. There's never been a better time to get into the real estate market. Visit our website at reofresnohomes.com or call toll-free 800-979-3958. That's 800-979-3958. And put the seasoned professionals of Valley Wide Homes to work for you. Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer, at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use Press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
Did you know that all the tickets you can buy on different websites come from the same place? Did you know that you can buy every ticket you need to any event in the country, the whole country, from Pete's Seats right here in Fresno? If that's the case, you need to call Pete's Seats. Any ticket, anytime. Sports, concerts, theater. Hey, there's seats, and then there's Pete's Seats. Premium tickets for all events, local, national, worldwide. Don't settle for a regular seat when you can get a really good Pete's Seat. Online at peteseats.net or simply 294-SEAT. That's 294-7328.
How much should I be saving? When can I retire? What can I do to ensure that my estate will be left in the hands of my family once I'm gone? Is my hard-earned money safe in today's markets?
With all the uncertainty in today's world, all of us at the Island Group know it is our job to provide answers to these questions. Walk with us, the Island Group at UBS Financial Services. Call me, Kate Island, at 559-248-4097. That's 559-248-4097. And take the first step in protecting your financial future.
All rights reserved. UBS Financial Services, Inc. is a subsidiary of UBS AG. Member SIPC.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, Michelle, CoreLogic reports foreclosure inventory down 24% nationally from 1 year ago. Well, CoreLogic reports that There were 52,000 completed foreclosures in the U.S. in April of 2013, down from 62,000 in April of 2012, a year-over-year decrease of 16%. On a month-over-month basis, completed foreclosures remain flat at 52,000, the same number reported in March of 2013. Now, as of April 2013, approximately 1.1 million homes in the U.S. were in some stage of foreclosure, known as foreclosure inventory, not to be confused with
shadow inventory. I know, they're all
compared to 1.5 million in April of 2012, a year-over-year decrease of 24%. Month-over-month, the foreclosure inventory was down 2% nationally from March 2013 to April 2013. Now, the foreclosure inventory as of April 2013 represented 2.8% of all homes with a mortgage, compared to 3.5% in April of 2012. Now, I found it interesting there, of all homes that had a mortgage. Not all homes
not
have
all
a mortgage.
have a mortgage.
Exactly.
Correct.
And comparatively speaking to the numbers that we see here on the Fresno market, when we talked earlier in the beginning of the show, roughly, 8.5% of all homes that were listed
did not have a mortgage.
Well, no, that were listed in Fresno's market currently were REOs.
Right. No, those were bank loans, correct.
Yeah, not to get the two confused. There are two stats that represent two specific or distinct areas as far as our market's concerned. Yeah, and there's no shadow inventory.
No, they say the shadow inventory dropped in April as the number of completed foreclosures fell. So whatever shadows there are lurking about, they say they are dissipating.
To be real honest, and I hate to sound somewhat naive, but I was not even aware. They say shadow inventory continued to drop in April as the number of completed foreclosures fell 16%. I didn't know that they were even statistically tracking shadow inventory.
Well, considering you can't find it, you can't see it, you don't know where it is, and if it creeps up behind you, you don't know it's there.
Yeah, you're probably in the shadow. Or in the dark.
Hard to know how they're tracking it. But it's a governmental report, probably, so there you go, right? Moving right along.
There you go, exactly. Well, April home prices, you know what they did. They continue to increase.
They skyrocketed.
Yeah, the statewide median price for an existing single-family detached home. Now, this is California.
It's just California.
Yeah, just California. Climbed 6.3%. Now, we just talked about nationally. It was 3.2% or something like that. Yeah, well, from March's revised median price of $378,000 to $402,000
wow.
in April, signaling the first time since April of 2008 that the statewide median price has exceeded the $400,000 mark and was the highest since then. April's price was up 28.9% from a revised $312,500 recorded in April of 2012, marking, once again, 14 straight months of annual price increases and the 10th consecutive month of double-digit annual gains. The median sales price is the point at which half of homes sold for more and half sold for less.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say now's a good time to list your property.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh, my God.
Let's move that puppy because there's a ton of buyers banging on the door. And if this is the beginning of the bubble, consider yourself blessed that you didn't get hit at the top of the bubble.
Well, certainly. Yeah, Central Valley is extremely representative. Fresno County, we've seen, let's see here, market 2012, 23%. It's, fast-moving market. Get them while they're hot, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, did you blow your once-in-a-generation chance to buy a home? Well, the U.S. housing market crash of 2007-2008, presented a big opportunity for those in the market to buy a home. And let's say this real quick. If you were trying to buy a home in 2006, you were asking the same question. It's not too difficult to see that we haven't fallen too far
from the tree. Yeah. No.
I wasn't trying to make a rhyme there either. But they say in history, those that don't remember are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah. Hello, Ben, call me. Call me, please.
Needs a little insight from the Real Estate Radio Network expert here.
Well, I think when you look at it in our little ecocosm and you take it down to the bare bones of what's going on in our neighborhoods out here, it's very, very clear what's going on in the nation. And when you pick it apart the way we do, it's very easy to see the manipulation going on out there. And the concern. And I'm not saying, no, don't go buy a house. I think if you can afford to buy a house and you find a property you love, buy the house. Buy it at market value, but be aware. There's a market conditions advisory that every agent has you sign that says we don't know, and none of us has a crystal ball to tell you what the future holds. So today, this is what your house is worth.
Right.
Tomorrow, we can't guarantee you anything.
Right.
And we're not going
down.
to.
Right.
And they're just making that more of an important document each and every time because we really, truly cannot foresee. There used to be some natural trends and some natural statistical information that came from the real estate industry, and now so much of it is tweaked that it's hard to know what's real and what's not. But our ecosystem definitely is clear that there's a lot of not clear information that they're blasting out there.
It's very clear that it's not very clear. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's real and what's not.
Yeah, in today's market, inventory being low, demand being high, interest rates still being extremely reasonable, easily, FHA financing, easily something under 4%, let's say. Home affordability still is at I wouldn't say, again, not an all-time high, but it is still an extremely good time to buy a home. So I can't see how any folks could say that you've missed your opportunity.
No. I don't think you've missed your opportunity unless you're in the bottom of the price ranges where you are fighting with investor.
Right.
Then you may have.
If you can only afford an $80,000 home, then let me tell you.
You got a lot of competition out there.
It's going to be slim pickings for you because anything that's not scooped up by an investor that they're speculating as well.
And just know what goes up in a make-believe market will come down at some point. There's no way for them to maintain it. Additionally, people who have a home and who live in a home and who maintain a home generally are more consistently satisfied with life even when the market dips down and comes back up. They say happier people have homes and families in those homes.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's not worth not buying, but it's definitely worth being aware.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Well, Michelle, there are 10 ways that you can turn off a would-be buyer.
Yeah, have them listen to me.
No, no. What did you say earlier? You said take them out in the car with you and get hit by another car?
Oh, yeah, that would be
That'll turn you off.
I don't think it happens that often, so it's probably not in the top 10.
Yeah, number 1, dirt, hands down.
Dirt? What do you mean dirt?
Nothing turns off a buyer quicker than a dirty house.
Oh, a dirty house.
Number 1 biggest mistake.
Yeah, clean the toilets, guys. Wipe it down. Make it.
And the best one. How many homes do you see? No.
Now, are we talking about currently in this market?
That are occupied. Let's just say occupied. Let's just say occupied. Because a real estate owned foreclosure
doesn't, not the same.
Not the same thing.
So occupied.
Yeah. Number 1, let's say occupied. So number 1, dirt. Dirty. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Dirty dishes in the sink?
No. Oh, my gosh. Number 2, odors.
Yeah, most people walk in a house and if it smells, they're done.
Buyers buy with their noses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they are done. They don't want to come back and see if it's changed when it's empty or nobody. Yeah,
if it is dirty dishes, or let's say it's a pet.
Anything smelly.
You might even be a pet lover, and you might not like the smell of somebody else's pet.
Okay, if they see the outside color, they know it can be painted.
Yep.
If you smell an odor, you're not sure that is removable.
We had an REO in our inventory out in Sunnyside, and it was about 2,300 square feet. Beautiful floor plan, tiled throughout the house. You walk in the front door, completely empty. So pretty clean.
No one lived there.
No one lived there at the moment. And it reeked of pet urine.
And nobody wanted it for a very long time. I imagine.
You know what we did?
What'd you do?
I hired a gentleman to come in and bomb the thing.
Bomb it how? What did he come in with?
He set off these
smelly, tulipy smelling bombs?
Basically, someone comes in to neutralize the odors. And what had happened is you could see all the wear patterns. They had rugs over certain parts of the house, but there was an animal inside. And the reason I knew is there was an animal door that the pet could get in and out, and you could smell it everywhere. Well, it got in the grout as far as the tile's concerned. And I had someone come in and bomb it so that it.
Now, just out of curiosity,
yeah,
does bombing it cover it up or does it take it out?
I don't know. It's supposed
Is it like
to
baking powder, soda, whatever?
Yeah, it's supposed to neutralize it, and they do it in a number of different spots in the house. Costs a couple $100.
Mr. Febreze is here.
Yes, Mr. Febreze is here to make all your odors go
away. That's funny.
Number 3, old fixtures.
I agree.
My cousin bought a house recently in Kingsburg, and she was posting on Facebook, oh, my goodness, you should have seen the old white appliances with the old whitewashed cabinets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the gold
That's definitely a 90s
fixtures.
thing.
No, it was definitely
80s?
it was a late 80s, early 90s things.
Yeah.
Whitewashed cabinets.
Bleach.
With the white appliances.
Bleached oak.
Yes, exactly. Bleached oak. Oh, my gosh, yeah. You want buyers to roll their eyes? Yeah, just walk into a house with your white appliances with your gold trim. Sexy. Wallpaper. Yeah, wallpaper your grandmother put in every room of the house.
Yeah, we've gotten out of the wallpaper trend. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Keep it out
definitely
of
do
your
some
house.
things to prepare yourself. If it's wallpaper, take the wallpaper down.
Yeah,
It just takes a little elbow grease, and you put yourself in a position where you're going to market that home a whole lot easier. Yeah, popcorn acoustic ceilings. Now, one of the things I will say,
acoustic. I love that word is in there.
well,
Johnny does too. He's giggling over
like
there.
acoustic has anything to do with it. It wasn't, popcorn ceilings weren't put in the 60s and 70s because it made the acoustics better. Well, some people
it might
say
have.
yes, but
It
nowadays.
was a time of interesting music.
Oh, yeah.
Might have.
Okay.
Who knows?
Well, one of the things I will say is you must, and I learned this from a client, you've got to be careful as far as those acoustic ceilings because some of that material might be asbestos.
Yeah, correct. That's why you see it in them, not touched,
Not
painted
touched,
over, glued
painted
to
over,
the ceiling
glued to the
again.
ceiling because it encapsulates that for all time. Yeah, number 6, too many personal items. You need to unclutter a house, kids.
I'm going to be quiet because I kind of like clutter. I mean, in my own house.
Well, you're not selling your house,
No,
so
I'm not.
it's okay to have clutter.
I like to have pictures and, doodads, and I imagine there's a lot of folks who
Make
are
it
the
very
same.
personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snoopy sellers, realtors and buyers just don't like to hang out with the sellers. So, what'd you think? Or follow them.
Sellers need to go bye-bye when showings happen. I will agree that's very, 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 very disrespectful to buyers.
Yep. Yeah, misrepresenting your home. That's a huge turnoff.
Yeah, don't make it out
online.
to be all that in a bag of chips if you know that the ceiling is falling in 3 bedrooms. That's just not cool.
Yeah, no.
That's called lying.
And yeah, it is misrepresentation.
Exactly.
Yes, for short of lying. And number 9, poor curb appeal. A little gingerbread, a little forest humus in the flower beds, and some perennials.
And what you need to remember in these situations where you're decluttering and the poor curb appeal issue, it's not about you.
It's about
somebody else's perception of your house, and I think that's really important.
Yep. And number 10, you mentioned clutter. Yeah, put the clutter away.
I'm trying.
Yeah, do the very best you can. If you're living in a property and you're trying to sell it, throw everything in a doggone handbasket and get out of the house.
Run.
Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle and myself share with you on our show, or maybe it's something that pertains to you and something you've experienced lately,
Great calls coming in, too.
Yeah, they really are. Please give us a call anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. You can also go to our website, check out our resources online. Search for your new home at Valleywide Sells. That's valleywidesells.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 keywords.
Friend Valleywide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 keywords.
K&J, call Valleywide.
To call into the show. Anytime, we'd love to hear from you. Excuse me. Well, coming up, Sam from Fresno asks, so what are your rates today? Man, the consumer has a hard time knowing where to start as far as that whole shopping process, and that's usually the first telltale sign. And Tim from Clovis asks, if I pay off my mortgage and I want to buy another house, does the absence of a mortgage on my house actually make the new house owner-occupied? Well, when we return, we're going to take some listener questions. Make sure you stay with us. You are listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate here on 105.9, the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Mortgage interest rates are at historic lows, and there's never been a more affordable time to buy real estate. Whether you're looking for your first home, moving up, or your next income-producing property, let the mortgage professionals at Valley White help. Valley White Homes has been helping homeowners with their mortgage needs since 1997. When it comes to the Valley's real estate, we know our way around the neighborhood. Call toll-free 800-979-3958 and put the seasoned professionals at Valley White Homes to work for you. Valley White Homes, NMLS number 342062, 235-952, California Department of Real Estate License 0122-8460. Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
Did you know that all the tickets you can buy on different websites come from the same place? Did you know that you can buy every ticket you need to any event in the country, the whole country, from Pete's Seats right here in Fresno? If that's the case, you need to call Pete's Seats. Any ticket, anytime. Sports, concerts, theater. Hey, there's seats, and then there's Pete's Seats. Premium tickets for all events, local, national, worldwide. Don't settle for a regular seat when you can get a really good Pete's Seat. Online at peteseats.net or simply 294-SEAT. That's 294-7328.
How much should I be saving? When can I retire? What can I do to ensure that my estate will be left in the hands of my family once I'm gone? Is my hard-earned money safe in today's markets?
With all the uncertainty in today's world, all of us at the Island Group know it is our job to provide answers to these questions. Walk with us, the Island Group at UBS Financial Services. Call me, Kate Island, at 559-248-4097. That's 559-248-4097, and take the first step in protecting your financial future.
All rights reserved. UBS Financial Services, Inc. is a subsidiary of UBS AG. Member SIPC.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, Michelle, Sam from Fresno called in recently and asked, what are your rates today?
Isn't that funny? We get that call all day long. So tell us, what are your rates today, Craig?
Well, it depends.
What do you mean it depends?
It could be anywhere from 3% to 14%. I have no idea. It depends upon your specific situation. So let me ask you a couple questions, and I typically start off by making sure that consumers understand. Please don't take anything that I say disrespectfully. I'm very passionate, and I believe in what I'm going to tell you. Is I need to effectively educate you on how you need to shop, because by asking that question, I firmly believe it's a consumer that's uneducated. So what are your rates today? Because if you knew all the variables that go into determining, and this is not age old. I mean, this isn't just recently. This has been going on for a long time.
Gotcha.
If you knew what questions to ask or what information to give me in the first place, you wouldn't ask, what are your rates today? You'd start off with, well, Craig, here's my situation. My wife and I own a home, and we're looking to sell and purchase another home. We feel like we're going to have about $80,000 that we're going to net from the sale of our home, and we want to buy a $250,000 property and put 20% down so we can avoid paying PMI. So I already know they're getting rid of their existing residence. They're buying a new owner-occupied. And that helps to narrow down. They're putting 20% down.
Conventional, not FHA.
Conventional, not FHA, owner-occupied. So tell me a little bit about your credit profiles. When was the last time you saw your credit? Did you see all three credit bureaus, and what was your middle score of those three credit bureaus? Now, assuming it was a 3-bureau mortgage credit report and not a consumer credit report, because there is something, you apply for a Kohl's credit card versus applying for a mortgage, two different credit scoring models. So the most important thing is understand what you're asking for.
So what if you don't know what to ask for?
Then you call a professional like myself, and we walk you through the process.
And when I say, what's my rate today?
Yeah.
Are you going to laugh at me?
No, absolutely, positively not.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to help educate you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, then. Because we do get that question all day long at our office.
Yeah. Well, Tim from Clovis also asked, if I pay off my current mortgage and I want to buy another home as owner-occupied, am I able to use FHA financing? Now, really,
Okay, this is just fraud all over. I'm sorry. This is what we hear every time we have a HUD home.
It's interesting because I had a client that I sat down with a while back, and it was a husband and wife, and they wanted to buy the house and the wife in the husband's name, and they wanted it to be an investment, but they said, but could we do this as owner occupied? And I said, well, just to let you know, that's called fraud.
Because really, what does it boil down to, Craig? If it's going to be your residence,
if it's going to be your primary residence,
you have to live there.
Bottom line, the question is, where are you going to live?
Where are you going to live? Where do you put your head at night?
Exactly. Where are you going to sleep? Where are you going to get your mail? Where are you going to live? Where are you going to call your primary residence? Where are you going to stay? 90% of the time, that's going to be your primary residence. And I'm telling you right now, it's not worth lying about.
No, it's not.
If you don't have 20% to put down on an investment property, then guess what? You're not buying an investment property anytime soon. You better start saving your cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So where you lay your head is your primary residence.
Exactly.
Okay, Shannon from Fresno.
I'm a little upside down, and I don't want to miss an opportunity to buy in today's market. And I want to keep my current home. Am I able to buy a home right now?
Ooh, that's a good question, because a lot of people are sitting in that situation.
Yep.
The prices are great. There's tons of houses out there that are looking for owners, and they're thinking, can I have both?
Shannon can buy a new home, but if she has no equity or is slightly upside down, she's going to have to qualify with both mortgages.
Okay, when you qualify with both mortgages, okay, so you have a $500 mortgage and an $800 mortgage.
Yep.
They're going to hit you with the payments for both against your debt.
And folks used to be able to rent out their existing property and offset that with
But they don't allow that anymore.
They don't allow that anymore.
Unless it's on your tax return.
Unless
correct?
it's on your tax return, certainly.
Okay. Now, how much upside down? Or how much not upside down do you have to be where you can only count the one?
For conventional financing, you need to have roughly 30% equity.
30% equity, and then I don't get hit with both payments.
Well, then you can qualify with, you can utilize the rents from that.
See.
Got to have a rental agreement, got to have a first and last, show it went into your account, and then you can buy.
It's all authentic.
Yep.
Again,
it's all verifiable.
It's all verifiable.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest issue for today is verifiable. Even if you're buying a HUD, we hear those questions a lot about the FHA and the first time, where you're going to live. It's got to be verifiable.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
Exactly. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle and I share with you on our show, give us a call anytime. 800-979-3958. You can also check out our resources online. Go to valleywidesells.com. Again, big special thank you to Michelle Lynn Pettis.
Why, thanks.
My special guest host this Sunday morning. Enjoy your day, kid. It was great having you get up this morning with me. Johnny, as always, thanks so much, buddy. You take great care of us. It's always great to hang with you. Again, our goal at the Real Estate Radio Network is to get you, our listeners, the timely and accurate truth about your local real estate market so we can help bring you back home. Don't forget to tune into the Real Estate Radio Network next Sunday at 7 a.m. right here on 105.9, the FM KMJ. Local news, local talk. Make it a great day, Central Valley, and we will see you next week.
The preceding program was paid for by the Real Estate Radio Network.